Welcome back. Now, Tradfest, welcome back to here, but Tradfest is back in January from the 21st to the 25th, celebrating the very best of Irish music, song and dance.
Back, and it's booming. Here to tell us more is singer-songwriter George Murphy and musician Tara Brady from Communal. Good morning to you both.
Hi, guys.
It's great to have you both with us. Trad music, it is having a bit of a moment at the minute. We talk about the Irish language is booming, but trad music too. Tradfest in particular is going to be big, Tara. Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so Tradfest is happening at the end of the month again, and we're also looking forward to it. It's so lovely to have something so uplifting and energetic towards the end of January. January can be so dark and so long, so we look forward to it every year. And yeah, so it's on from
But for you, what sort of, because there's so many variations of trad now. Like, George, I watch your videos and oh my God, do you do some amount of sessions? It's unbelievable stuff. But for Colleen Lua, what sort of trad do you get involved in? Yeah,
so we would play a lot of trad tunes, and then we're involved with the folk side of things as well, and the folk music. So yeah, I mean, we're an all-female band, which we find great, empowerment in, because I suppose for a long time, Irish traditional music scene was probably dominated, by the male scene. So we feel really excited about being an all-female group in the sphere.
I was watching clips of you last night with my daughter, and she was loving it. So what you're doing, it's appealing to such a new range of. It's not just people who would have traditionally got involved in trad music, like you have a young scene coming through as well.
100%, and I suppose Irish music there's a movement at the moment. There's almost like a mini cultural revival within music, but also within Irish culture in general. All the girls are into wearing their cladders now, and there's such a movement, and we feel so lucky to be a part of it. But I suppose for us, it's not a trend. It's something we were brought up in, and something that we'll continue to be involved in.
You call yourself a trad nerd, which I absolutely I think it's brilliant. George, you were in You're a Star. We've seen you on our screens for years. Your passion for music is always there. I love when you pop up on the TV, because it's that, it is that sort of everyone's invited. It's all about welcoming people in, I think, when it comes to the trad music.
Yeah, of course. And like Tara said, there's definitely like a resurgence of the scene now. There's a lot of great bands who over the years kind of paved the way, like whether it was the Dubliners, the Furies and Planks, Clanad, like all these classic acts over the years. But, it's time in a way for the torch now to kind of be passed, and it's lovely to see. I mean, even now I'm only doing it, 20 years. It does feel like a lifetime, but I'm playing at sessions now, and there's people coming in that are like teenagers, and it nearly feels now like, I'm at a place where, God, there's people coming in behind me now and behind us now. So it's lovely to see, and the appetite for it is incredible.
Talk to us about, because passing on the torch to the likes of yourself is important in one thing, but you have to do things differently as well, and you have to try and reinvent. And you were talking to me there just before we went on about how your new sessions, you're wanting to instead just be in the front of the stage or the front of the room, you're wanting to actually make it a lot more immersive.
Yeah, well, I sat with investors recently, and they kind of said, what is it you feel your show or differentiates you from other bands and stuff that are out there? And I kind of said, I think what we're best at is putting on a session, and that's usually just in a pub environment, but figuring out how to take that on a large scale and how we can do that was a difficult kind of process. But I said, like, all these hotel function rooms around the country, you usually have a stage at one end and a pillar of sound left and right. I said, what if you put the stage smack bang in the middle of the room, put the crowd 360 degrees around you, put the sound 360 degrees around you? So they're investing in the idea. The dates are going to be announced in the next few days, and all the hotels that around the country are on board with it. And I think by doing that, it's going to give us the opportunity to kind of capture the session atmosphere on a larger scale.
Yeah, to bring it in, to be immersive and to be a bit of crack, because that's what it's all about. Because Tara, you're also a historian, and we're talking about the resurgence. It's of the moment. And in an increasingly globalised world where we've got children sounding American, and they could be from any part of the country, you can see why people are grasping on to something that's ours, for everyone who lives here. So for you, does it make sense why this is all happening right now? For sure, it does. And I think, social media probably has a big part to play in it as well. It's an easy way to, get our culture across to audiences that haven't maybe come across Irish music before. Yeah. And I suppose, it's such a time for celebration, of Irish music, and like
Ireland is such a small country, and we're celebrating Ireland so much at the moment in terms of sports and particularly music. And I think now is just such a fantastic time to just spread that Irish culture. And it's so fantastic that the younger generation are picking up on it, you know, and it's something that I suppose connects the older generation with the younger generation. I think now, like, even from a historical point of view, there's kind of that disconnect sometimes between the generations in Ireland. And, you know, that's something we don't want to lose, you know, that connection that we have. So it's definitely something to link all the generations together.
What is it about trad music that it connects with people around the world, though, as well? Because you've been in Qatar, you've been in America, Bahrain, all over. There's some, and probably in Irish bars, but there's people from all over the world in these bars, because there's something about the Irish music that just puts a smile on people's face.
I know, and it makes us so proud as Irish women and as Irish people that people around the world are so happy to celebrate our culture that's been around for so long. And like that, you know, we've been to, you know, Bahrain and Shanghai and America, and, you know, I suppose as Irish people, we expect, you know, certain audiences to be interested, like, you know, the diaspora and the States and that. But, you know, we still get surprised every day and every week when we're asked to different countries. For the likes of Bahrain and that, you know, you think, my God, is there an interest there? And there is. And I think it's, you know, Irish music, you don't need to speak Irish or speak English to love it or to understand it. There's that beat and that rhythm that just, you know, it transcends over cultures and over language. It's just about celebrating, like you mentioned, George, everyone. It is. And that's the whole point, is to get everyone in the room on the same page and enjoy without barriers.
There was a Japanese trad band, Irish trad band, that was touring around the country last year, wasn't it? Did you see?
I actually
the
saw
lads,
some of their
I couldn't
videos,
stop watching them. Every they're a bunch of Japanese people who play Irish traditional music, and they came to Ireland and they were just jumping into sessions. It was
class.
It was so class to watch. Find it online. It's unbelievable. Just going to, like, they were just going to O'Looney's, like, you know, when they were jumping into places, Noctons and Galway, whatever. So for you, George, like, I've seen you've performed everywhere. Is it the sort, like, people can get involved? Like, I've seen you in a pub before and people have gotten up for a tune.
Yeah, well, I kind of like to celebrate the idea of inclusion, especially like with this new show. It's going to be all about that as well. We're going to have people scattered around the audiences with secret mics, and out of nowhere we're going to get them to sing a song. Probably giving too many secrets away. But no, it's just I do love that feeling of it's for everybody, and the more people that get involved, the better. And you know, it gives people such a buzz when they come in, and instead of it just being strictly the three people that are on the stage, if they see that the guy at the bar is involved and the girl on her way to the toilet stops and sings a verse and stuff like that, if you can just bring everybody into it and make it communal, like it's, you know, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of and to be able to do for other people. Because often I run a session on a Monday night, and I was there last night, and an hour passed without me singing a song. So I'm just kind of sitting there delegating other people to sing, but you just get to kind of sit back and listen, and it's even that can be rewarding in itself, you know what I mean, which is great.
You see the crowds at the Wolf Tones and Electric Picnic. You see Ed Sheeran, didn't he play a gig here in Dublin, was playing Irish music.
In Wexford.
Lewis Capaldi, somebody you've sang alongside. Do you like that there's fellas like Lewis and Ed Sheeran, you know, the big mega stars, not from Ireland, but their love for Irish music? Is it good to have that?
Well, it's funny you mentioned those two in particular, because what strikes me most about the two of them is, as globally famous as they are, they still seem like salt of the earth. They don't seem like they've ever lost their inner kind of, I just want to sit and drink a pint and sing a few tunes with my mates. That kind of vibe.
I prefer to be doing that.
You know, they haven't seemed to allow the global phenomenons that they've become take over their kind of mindset and their being and who they are as people, and love for the music, exactly.
And Tara, were you playing with Zach Bryan? You were playing with Zach. Like, how did this come about?
Yeah, I suppose it's one of those things, you know, in music that you can't put in the calendar or plan or look forward to or anything like that. It was, I suppose, one of the lovely things about music is the way things just happen, and you have to go along with them. And it was during the summer. Obviously, Zach Bryan was here for his concerts, and two of the girls in the band, Katie and Laura, their sisters, they went to the concert and they met up with some of the musicians, and they said, you know,
where did they meet up with some of the musicians?
I know, but sure, you know yourself.
You know yourself.
It's a secret.
You know yourself,
right?
And they said, you know, if you want to, you know, get the girls and call over, we always have the instruments with us. So we popped in, and sure, we had a couple of tunes with them. Chasing Abbey lads were there as well. We did a couple of tunes with them, and you know, we planned to kind of maybe go for an hour and have a bit of crack. And when we opened the door, you know, the sun was up and the seagulls were cawing over the Liffey. So I'll tell you about what time we got out of there.
I just missed the invite to these things.
Sessions, those lock-in sessions.
Get you next time.
Get you next time. That was a great crack.
Sure, it's great crack, and it embodies the whole spirit of Ireland, because you know he had a big gang with him. He's a lot on stage with him, and some of his family were there. And I think they, you know, they were really appreciating that kind of spirit that we have in Ireland. Like, come one, come all, just enjoy, bring the instruments, and we'll get stuck in. Yo.
Finally, you had to tell us, you're the Tipperary Rose.
Yeah. Currently still a Tipperary Rose, yeah. I'm into my second year now. I'll be handing over my sash at the end of May to the next lucky lady. So yeah, it's been a remarkable couple of years.
When you talk about Irish culture and you're, as you say, a trad nerd, in terms of the Rose of Tralee music, like, is the Rose of Tralee right up there still as an important part of Irish history?
100%, I think so. And, you know, we're often kind of asked, you know, is it outdated, or, you know, does it need to be updated for today's society and that? But, like, what is outdated about celebrating Irish women? You know, the whole, it's not a competition, it's a festival, and the whole point of it is to celebrate Irish women's abilities and to talk about their stories and have you know, the Irish diaspora come home and connect. You know, there's nothing outdated about that. And the caliber of women who enter, like the Roses in my year, you know, my Ohio Rose, you know, she was doing her PhD, she was doing an internship for NASA. My Chicago Rose was an attorney in Chicago. You know, my Cork Rose, the pharmacist. These are incredible women who, you know, we just go down there to connect and to celebrate Irish health, you know, culture and heritage, and there's nothing outdated about that to me.
Oh my God, you're such a... You make me want to put the sash on, Tara.
Exactly, sign me up.
Hike that age up, lads.
What about the escorts? I'm going to be an escort as well. What do they do?
I think they go on the sesh with George, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, this sounds more fun. George, tell us just about Tradfest. How can people get involved, and where are you going to be performing?
Well, all the tickets are online. If you look up on Tradfest, it's going on all over Dublin, north and south, and in the city. So there's shows everywhere. Myself and Colleen Lua are playing in the Button Factory I'm there on Friday. The girls are there on Sunday. Buy tickets for Friday first.
And if you enjoy that, go on Sunday again.
There's going to be an awful lot of buzz around the town for the few days between the 24th and 25th, and just delighted to be involved.
It's wonderful when places have this, and I know it's focused on Dublin, which wouldn't be a stronghold of trad all of the time, but there's so much music around the city those few days. It's absolutely fantastic. Tara Brady from Colleen Lua, and also George Murphy, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks very much.
Really appreciate it.
I really enjoyed that.